In the subjects like typography, typefaces plays a role of catalyst. Do you know why? Let's understand. What is typefaces? What's the importance typefaces hold in your design and UI projects? In this video, I will explain you what is typefaces, or you can say as font faces from scratch. We'll also understand what are the different typefaces in the market, what are the famous ones, what are the key attributes you need to know when using any typeface so that whatever design you're working on can bring out more elegant, versatile and user-friendly look. Hi, my name is Darshan, and with that, let's start. So if you see any UI design, maybe an app or a website, you will realize that on a screen, the fonts on that UI design will appear differently with different font weights. Some are thin, some are normal, and some are there in terms of headings, which are more darker and bold. And this different appearance of a font is called as font weight, or you can say boldness of a font. And the collection of these different font with different attributes are called as font styles. But along with this differentiation in a font style, you will realize that the look and feel of a font remains same. Why? Because we are using the same font in overall design with a different attribute. Somewhere you may see that the font appears in an italic way, but the overall appearance of a font remains same. And this collection of a different font styles with a variation of font weight, some with italic, some with not, this overall package is called as typeface, or you can say as font face. But why it is that we use single typefaces in a complete design? Can't we use multiple typefaces? Well, technically we can, but when it comes to working as a professional designer, the professional work will always appear as less is more, because all the professionals use single font face into their designs, maybe with different font style, but the overall look and feel of the font remains same. And this gives the design more structured and consistent look. Now, if you're wondering, which are these typefaces or font faces majoritarily used for professional work? Well, there are some which are more generous and standard, which you already know, like sans serif, Arial, serif, but there are more which are considered when it comes to designing a software product or maybe for some UI UX design. And to understand them, you can watch this video which I have already created. In that video, I have explained which are those fonts which are industry standard for designing a software or a UI UX project. I will also give the link into the description of this video. You can watch it later. Now let's understand what is hierarchy in typefaces. Now, as name suggests, it's very simple to understand. When using a font, always use from large to small and from bold to thin. And as you have already anticipated, this is the usual and most famous style of writing any structured document. Just for instance, if you're using a title in your design, then it should be large in font, it should be much bolder, much thicker. But underneath that, if you're adding a paragraph, then it should be lighter, small in size, and it should be more thin in terms of boldness as compared to the title. And if you want to make your design appear more structured, then you can use systematic way of decreasing the font size and the boldness size of the fonts. For example, if you're using heading, subheading and text, then the font size among all of them should be decreasingly progressive. For instance, if your font size heading is 24, then the subheading should be 16 and the paragraph should be 8. This overall gives the systematic and structured look to your design and also adds the consistency in your design. Now, some key attributes that you should take care of along with the font hierarchy is, the first one is kerning. Now, as dramatic or complex it may sound, in simple words, kerning means spaces between two letters of your word. That's it. Now, if you add kerning into a design, considering that it's in a proper way and in a right amount, it can outreach your design than a standard structure. A kerning in a right amount can add a drastic effect into a design, which can aesthetically look more intuitive. But wait, there are two factors which are very important to consider when you use kerning. First one is typeface and second one is practice. There are certain typefaces which are not meant to be used with kerning. If you use that typefaces into a design, in a standard structure, in a normal form, it will look good. But if you try to add kerning into that typeface, it will make the design more worst and more weird. Kerning is a skill, and it gets improved with practice. Using right amount of kerning in a right way takes time. And once you start using more and more kerning into a design, you will understand that it's not a joke. If a kerning is at right amount into a design, depending upon the design, it looks good into a design and it adds up a value into a design. But otherwise, it can backfire and it can make your design more worst and more weird. So overall, understanding a right typeface when you want to use a kerning and understanding the right amount of kerning into a design depending upon the design, this overall takes a little bit of time and practice. But once you understand that, this alone thing can add a lot of value into your design. Second one is letting. Now, if you read it, it seems like leading, but in typography, it is spelled as letting. Now, as kerning means setting a right space between two letters of a word, letting means setting a right space, less or more, between two adjacent lines of a paragraph. Now, it's very important to know that why we need this attribute. In some designs, when you use certain type of font faces, It is a requirement of a design to add more space where there is a paragraph in the design. So let's say if you're using a certain type of typeface into your design and the default spacing between the paragraphs is not enough for your design. So with letting, you can change and can adjust the space between the two adjacent lines of a paragraph, and that can add a different and elegant look into a design. Now as kerning, letting is also something which requires practice and time. But once you start practicing it enough, it automatically gets better and better, and it adds a different look into a design. Third attribute is alignment. So you have probably heard about this word somewhere, or you probably know about it. But when it comes to professional design, this simple thing like alignment plays an important role into a design and can add a drastic change into a design if you make it right or wrong. As a professional designer, when you work on some design project, it is important to keep an eye onto the alignment of the fonts you have used into your design. Fourth and last attribute is font pairing. Now font pairing is something where you can use multiple typefaces into a design as requirement, but with care. When you use font pairing in your design and when you select two typefaces or font faces for your design, it is important to keep in eye that the essence of two font faces should be harmonious in a way with each other so that overall design looks more beautiful and more elegant. So mainly there are two factors in font pairing which you have to keep in mind when selecting a typefaces for your design. The first one is that the typeface you choose should be more readable and more clear. And second one is that there should be a good amount of contrast between the two typefaces or font faces you choose so that the overall design looks more aesthetically beautiful. So the main part of this video is over. But I would like to share some resources with you which I have used to understand kerning and letting and how the harmony of two fonts work. So I will add links of some websites into the description which will help you to understand what is kerning, what is letting, how two fonts interact with each other. And overall, if you visit this website, you will understand what is the depth of typefaces and what is the depth of typography as a skill. So make sure to check out the description of this video and at least have a look on this website. So that was all about the typefaces and typography in general. So let me know in the comment section of this video, did you learn something new today? Did you understand what is the depth of typography, and will you implement some of the key points that I've mentioned in this video into your design projects? Let me know in the comment section. And it would be great if you like and share this video for better reach. That will help me and motivate me to bring such videos more and more. So that's all from my side. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Namaste.